Hi everyone, Narelle here from Simply Narelle Stitches, and today is Thursday the 8th of February 2024. Welcome to my channel about cross stitching. It's been, 2 weeks and 1 day, or 2 weeks and a couple of days or something or other since I've been here, and yeah, so I've got a bit to catch up on, and I think this video is going to be a bit longer than my normal videos, so we'll see how we go. Welcome any new subscribers. Thank you very much for coming along and sharing part of your day with me. And my printer's decided now it wants to make a noise, so sorry if you can hear that. Sorry if you can hear my fan blasting in the background. I've got it on cyclone mode because the humidity here in Brisbane is just ridiculous, and even with the air conditioning on, I'm still really hot. Unless I've got a fan blowing on me, blowing cool air on me, forget it. I'm a mess. So part of the reason I haven't been on is because it's been so stinking hot, and I just haven't been in the mood to, you know, sit and talk about stuff. Plus, I'm also trying to build up the stock in my shop because I can't make money if I don't make stuff to sell. So, spending my days sewing. Alright, so anyway, let's get on to the stitching. So, this, alright, sew must be my new favourite word. Today's video Today's video will be broken up into several sections. I'll go through my finishes, then my whips. I'll talk about plans, and the challenges I've been stitching on will be wrapped up sort of together. Also, a little bit about a fabric that I asked for suggestions on. Also going to finally unwrap my last of my December new starts. If you're around for that, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'll talk about it, if not, if you haven't been around for long, at the end. And also some shop talk. So, and I've got this bit of hair that's going to annoy me my whole video. Look at that. If I had a clip, I'd clip it back, so I'm going to tuck it in there. Yes, anyway, welcome new subscribers. Also, thank you for coming back if you have subscribed to me whenever. And you're coming back to watch another video. So let's go finishes. I am on fire with my finishes this year, I tell you. I have actually done 6 finishes so far this year. Amazing. So these are not in any order, but these are the ones I finished since my last video. First one up I'm going to show you. Now you remember this one if you've been around for a while, is my beautiful peacock. It is finally finished. This is from Ultimate Birds magazine. I have no idea issue number or date or anything, but Ultimate Birds, I think, magazine. Isn't that just stunning? I love it. But the back stitching on this, oi oi oi. I know it needed to be done, so I sucked it up and I did it. But it took a while. So this one has many challenges. This pattern, I had started it, didn't like the fabric I started it on, restarted it, then I decided to do 25 count 1/1. It was too small, I couldn't stand it, chose another fabric, didn't like it. Finally found this was like an 18 or 16 count 8er, and I went, that'll do, I'm just doing it. And I did it. And I even added beads. So this is my first time beading. You can see those green beads around the border. The pattern doesn't call for beads, but I wanted to try beading. So I did it. And it's not as scary as I thought. I was putting it off. And no, it's not scary. I just used DMC, one single strand of DMC, the same colour as the beads. Now the beads are probably a little bit big, because like I said, the pattern didn't call for beads, but I wanted to add them, so I just added them around the border, and I think it's really, really pretty. This light doesn't do it justice really, but so I am finally finished with that one, and I'm really pleased to be finished with that one. But the back stitching is no joke on that one. But yay! On that one was also the one that got chocolate on it, that I have to try and find a way to get off. And that bit of hair is annoying me. Let me see if I have a clip. I don't think I do. Wait, let's twirl it around and stick it in. Alright. Next finish. which I don't know why this one sat around until February to get finished. It should have been finished in the very start of the new year, but I was putting it off, and I only had like 2 days of stitching to do on it. But it's now finished. My temperature bobbins chart, I just had to put in the last like 2-3 days of December, and then finish the white on the bottom of the bobbin and back stitch around it. So that is our year. Now that's not a true recollection of 2024's temperatures in Brisbane, because I started off really well. We had a really mild start to the year, a few hot days, really not that bad in January, February, March. April we started to cool down. We had quite a cool few days in winter, probably a week or so of really cold altogether, really cold temperatures. It seemed a lot colder than it's showing on here, but very, very mild. And then starting in, what is that? That's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, or September, October, and the start of November were really quite mild. So that light coloured greeny colours is like your 26s, 25s, 26s, 27s. We had a really, really hot day here, late October, and then late November and December was still really hot. That was like a 36-degree day or 37-degree day. There was a few 34s, 35s in here. They're the darker oranges. But I got like up to here, and I had stopped pulling it out to stitch on, and I got to like August or September and went, I am so far behind. So I just went to the actually I couldn't even be bothered going to the Bureau of Meteorology website in Australia to find the temperature history. I had already printed a temperature history for the year before, so this sort of mid is like, it's a mixture of 2023 and 2024. Some days I went, if it was an exceptionally cold day or a hot day, I'd make sure to write that down, and then when I got to it, stitch it in. But most of this is probably a mixture of 2023 and 2024. But anyway, I did it more as to have a stitched sample for my listing of this, because this is my design of a pattern. It's available on my Etsy store and my Simply Narelle store. So I really wanted to have something stitched, because now I just need to frame it, because stitched pieces look much better than a digital rendering of a cross-stitch piece. So I know a lot of people don't like the digital rendering, and they always go, has anyone ever stitched that? What's it look like stitched? So I stitched it, yeah, and now it'll take another 2 years to frame it. Anyway, next, another finish is my fancy dress. This is a Mon Ami kit called, no, this is a Bacilla kit. Wait a minute, I've thrown out the thing. It's a Bacilla kit called Mon Ami. I call it fancy dress, but it's called Mon Ami. Right, so it is done. There's a frame that goes around this, a cardboard printed floral frame that you put it in when you frame it. It's got this little flower that you stitch on. What else has it got? Is that the only one? That's the only thing. But it came with this pack of buttons and flowers and bows, and the only one that's called for on the pattern is this one. So it must just be a generic pattern packet of embellishments they include in every sort of kit of this style or something. So that is finished. Now, this I purchased for my daughter to put in my daughter's nursery when she was born. This November she's turning 20. So there you go. Better late than never. I've got another one that goes with this called Fancy Shoe that I bought as a set. That is on my Whip Go board for this month, so I don't know if I'll get it finished, but I will try. So yeah, there is the third finish for February. I was on a bit of a roll, and then I think this is the last one. Let me check. Yes, this is the last one, last finish for February so far. I mean, we're only in, is this some of these were January finishes maybe? I don't know, I can't remember. I thought they're all February. Who knows? I need a sip of coffee to get the brain working. Hang on. Alright, ignore the polka dot fabric on this. I put that on there so I could fit it into my Q-snap, and because I left a really small border on one side. And this is Colourful Autumn by Mr. Stitch and Mrs. Needle. This was a Sal. I believe she's Russian or Ukrainian or something like that. And if you wanted to do the Sal, you sent her a message on Instagram. She sent you the first part of the pattern. Then to get the next part of the pattern, you needed to send her a picture of the completed first part that you had stitched, and then she'd send you the next part, and that went on until you had all 4 parts. And I got the 4th part, which was the houses and these leaves, down in, I got them in, it was like August last year, something like that. And then I just thought, oh, I've got the part now, no rush to finish it. And I put it away, and then thought, well, that's not great. I should actually get it done, because these ones I stitched really quickly so that I could get the next part. And then that's silly doing all that work and then just letting it languish because I've got the final part. So it's like, don't need to stitch it now. So I decided to pull it out and get it done, and I'm really, really happy with this. It is so, so pretty. I love it. And of course, there's a squirrel. That squirrel is what made me want to stitch it. Someone had shown it on their YouTube, no, on their Instagram. They were stitching it. I think it was the Delusional Princess. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on it. And I went, oh my gosh, that's a squirrel. I've got to have it. So then she gave me the details of how to participate in the Sal, and that started it. So really, really happy that that is finished. Gorgeous. So they are all my finishes for, I thought February, but maybe thinking about it, some of them might have been late December, because I haven't been on since, I don't know, when was it? It was the 23rd of January. I won't forget that date of my last video, because that's my mother's birthday. We went to the cemetery that day to put flowers on her grave. So that's the date I remember of my last video. So they're my finishes. Let's get on to my whips. Alright, so these whips I worked on were for a mixture of whip go and challenges. So if I try and remember, I do have my whip go board here, which I will pull out later, but I'll try and remember what these were for. This I know was a whip go call. Pretty sure it was a new start in January. Whip go call, Tree of Hope by Mirabilia. Really, really pretty. And I got quite a lot done for this because I used it for a few challenges, which when I talk about my plans and challenges all together, the things I've done for the challenges I will go through. So I'll tell you then whether I worked on it for what challenges and stuff. And I really should have thought about this and thought, how am I going to show this, because this fabric's a bit big. Bear with me. Getting there. Getting there. Alright, here we go. That'll do. Alright, here we go. There's my tree. Sorry, nothing is ironed. And I don't always finish my sentences before I start the next one. So I'm sorry. If you're new here, you have to get used to it. If you're not new here, then you know how I roll. So here we go. Tree of Hope by Mirabilia. Really pretty. I was surprised I got so much done on it. Really, really surprised. But I sort of just wanted to keep stitching. Really, really. Now, I'll tell you in a minute what the fabric is. But see, there's lots of variegated thread in this. Wheat's Dye Works, I think, is called for, which I don't have any. So, I'm using DMC where I can, and the variegated one, this one here, and this one in here, are both variegated flosses. And I didn't want to wait to buy them. So I thought, well, hang on, I've got a lot of cottage garden threads, Australian threads from Victoria. So let me have a look in my stash what I have that will suit. And I did. I found, sorry, some substitutions. So for the tree, I'll show you on the pattern actually, it might be easier. I'm holding that great big lump of fabric up. So on the pattern, these leaves down here around the bottom, which I've done some of, I'm using Sherbet from Country. Why am I having trouble saying the name? Cottage Garden Threads. Alright, so it's a beautiful blue and green, and it looks really like very, very close to the called for. I'm also using, there's a really pale blue, or a pale, not a pale blue, but a lightish blue variegated. Is for somewhere up here in the bird, and some of these leaves, I can't remember now, but I'm using this one, which is called Cottonwood. So first one was sherbet, this is Cottonwood. This one up here in that part, see, it's like an olivey green up there. I didn't have anything like that, so I'm using Billabong, which is a blue and green variegated, and I was really happy with how these came out, really, really happy. And then up here, this up here in the middle, I decided to pull out Chinese Lantern, which I haven't pulled out here yet because I'm not up there yet. I tried to get there and then ran out of steam. But this is Chinese Lantern, so I'm hoping that will work for up there. We'll see. And if you've never used cottage garden threads, they are so easy to pull out. I see on different Facebook groups and stuff, people say that if only they knew how to use the threads. They've got lots of them and they don't know how to get the threads out without taking them off the packet. The instructions are on the back, and it's really, really simple. What you do is this left, now maybe back to front, but the left section here, so you'll see it's like it's plaited, so you've got the right one and the left one that tucks under. You just grab hold of that left one and pull, okay, and then it comes undone. Now it stays on the card. You just untwist it. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is so pretty. Alright, and then I just untwist it as much as I can. Okay, and then you'll see there's two distinct like tails. So you grab one. So I don't have my good glasses on to see fine things. Now this doesn't always work the first time, and you have to try a different thread. But what I do is I separate them like you do with a normal like DMC skein. Find one, separate one. So I've got one strand there. Alright, one single strand. Alright, you hold up here where the name is, just hold that firmly and then pull on that thread. Wait, I need a bit more finger room. Alright, hold there, pull on that thread, and keep pulling. Need a bit of oomph. Okay, first one's always the hardest. And there you have your single strand. Oops, your single strand of the floss comes out. So these are really, really good. I love using this system. I don't need extra bobbins or floss rings or floss drops or anything like that. I just use these. Now if I don't use this whole strand, then I will just fold in half what's left that I don't use, and up the top of the packet there's the little hole. This one hasn't been popped out. Okay, and then I just thread my leftover in there, put the loop through the hole, and then there you go. There's my spare that I didn't, like my thread I didn't fully use, and that just sits with the others. I just put that on my table. So those cottage garden threads, I love the colours, and I'm really, really pleased that the ones that I have chosen work with this pattern, because I'm trying not to spend any money this year. I have a big enough stash of just about everything you could think of, except for fabric, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, so I thought, well, why not use them? Who says I have to use the call for colours? And I am really, really happy with how they're turning out. So you can probably see, it's a better picture, I don't know if it's going to focus. These leaves, let me get it smaller. These ones down here are that sherbet colour, so you can see the variegation. And this bit here, there, that's the billabong. So I don't think it's coming out too bad. I'm really happy with it. And I think once it's, you know, finished, no one's going to go, well, that doesn't look like the picture because they're different threads. No. Use what you want. It's your stitch. Do what you want with it. So that was Tree of Hope by Mirabilia. And I know there'll be Mirabilia purists out there that will be holding their heads and shaking their heads and going, how dare you change it. But my stitch, I do it my way. Alright, next one. This is also a Whip Go call for January, and this was another one of my new starts. So on my Whip Go, I've got 3 Whip Go boards if you're new. 2 are all my whips when I created them. I did then in December have 20 odd new starts, so they are not on my Whip Go boards. The ones I had before that are on the Whip Go boards. And then a Whip Go board of all new starts. So this is Autumn Montage by Pain Free Crafts. There's quite a few, I think, people stitching this at the moment. This is all Carolyn Zook's fault from C Zook Stitch, because I saw her buy them all and then start them all and I went, oh, I've got to have them. So this is on, oh, I didn't tell you about the Tree of Hope. Wait a minute. Sorry, I forgot to tell you about the fabric the Tree of Hope is on. Hopefully I'll have it in here somewhere. I was writing them all down. Alright, it is Summer Khaki by Zweigart, 28 count. There you go. In case you were interested. Alright, so back to Autumn Montage. This is on 18 count Ada, which is what I do all my full coverages on. Some of them end up bed sheet size, but I can't do anything smaller. One day I want to try 20 count actually, because it is a bit smaller, but I'm just really scared that it's going to be too small, and because I'm going to buy so much of it, I then don't want to be stuck with fabric I can't use. But this is Autumn Montage. This was a new start, and that is how much I got done. So that is the first page in its entirety, the size of it. So I did get quite a bit done, and I did write down my stats. Okay, it is 1.5% complete. I did a total of 2,235 stitches over 4 days, and I am loving it. So you can start seeing the flowers come in here and the stem, and then there's some more, not flowers, leaves. So you can see these leaves here. So those 2 are in, that stem's coming in, and then I'm working on these ones here. So you can see sort of that leaf there taking shape. Really, really good. Love it. And when it comes to full coverages, I always hesitate starting them. And I think I said once before, like, I get a bit overwhelmed because they're so big and the fabric is a lot to wrangle. Like you can see, this is half the fabric. So that's a lot to wrangle into a Q-snap. But once I start on them, I can't stop stitching on them. So I'm thinking that for Mother's Day, which comes first before my birthday, I'm going to ask for Q-snaps for probably about 6 or 7 of my full coverages, because I want to, I mean, I've got more than that, but I want to have a few of them on the go because I really enjoy stitching on them and I want to give them more time than I am. So, alright, the next one, this is also a Whip Go Call, Chorus of Angels. This is an old kit. I think I had more Whip Go, but yeah, I think a couple of them I finished. Alright, so this is a Jan Lynn kit, Chorus of Angels. I got this off a D-Stash group. And the reason I got this is because Cupids were the theme of my wedding back in 1999. So I saw this and went, that would be perfect to go on the wall next to, I've got a Cupid print that my sister-in-law gave me not long after we were married, because that was the theme of our wedding. So, and I still got that on the wall. So I thought this would be cute to have next to it. It's going to take me a lifetime to do this because there's a lot of stitching in this. So anyway, this was a Whip Go call for, this is a February whip go call, and this is what I have done. So I worked on this couple of nights, maybe 3 nights, and that is what I've done. So I've done the first, like the middle, so I started in the middle, and this is the middle angel with her baby son, I guess it is. So that's that one there. So started in the middle. Now I did, she's all finished except for back stitching. I did the back stitching on the baby because I had him first. I had him mostly done, not completely done. So I back stitched him and then started doing the stitching around him. And then some of the back stitching got lost, so I'm going to have to go back over parts of him. But yeah, I got to this stage on this one last night that I went, I'm over it. I was going to put it away. I wasn't going to work on it last night. The night before, I thought, well, tomorrow I'll just put that away. But then I thought, oh, I hadn't done the bush here. I have to actually get that done, because otherwise when I come back to it next time, I've got to do this bush, the stitches with this bush, and then move it to do the next motif. So I thought, well, I'll just finish that off, and then I'm going to have to do the back stitching, I think, all at once. So after that peacock, I still don't like back stitching, but I know it makes a difference, and yeah, I'm sort of not adverse to doing it. Don't get me wrong, I still don't like it. There's only one person in this world I know who likes back stitching. Laura. I'm sorry, I tried to say that twice and I coughed. Laura is the only one I know who enjoys back stitching. Okay, so that was another whip go call. Now most of these whips most likely will not be seen again this year, because like I said, my whip go boards, 2 of them had all my whips on them. So once they're done for the whip go for that month, they probably won't be seen again unless they meet a challenge criteria that my current whip go calls don't meet. Okay, and then another February whip go call, and this is the last whip that I worked on. So I got some old stuff, I tell you. This is an oldie. This is a Semco kit, pretty floral cross stitch cushion. I love it because of the flowers, because that's just me, I love flowers. Whether it's made into a cushion, I have no idea. But I don't think I have wall space for all these, so, you know, maybe it might become a cushion. Then I can't put a cushion in our family room because the dog will think it's a toy, and yeah, so. Anyway, so this is what I did. So this is still on the Q-snap because this is what I'm currently working on. So that is what I got. Oh, you can see I need something plain because you can see the patterns on that notepaper behind it. So there we go. So that's the middle flower. Hang on, I'll put the thing away. Because the kit, they don't tell you how big a margin they leave on the fabrics. I always start in the middle. So that's that one in the middle. I don't even know what flower that is, but it's got big pointy green leaves. Yeah, so I'd only done a little bit in the middle. I think this was one of the ones when I did, was it New Year's Eve or something, start New Year's Day or something, or it was like not last December, the December before, and I think I did so many new kits, like start so many kits with Laura from I Stitch Birds, and this was one of those, I think. So it didn't have a lot in it. It only had like a little bit of the darker yellow in the middle. So I've done all that so far. And I tell you, challenges, the groups that I'm in this year for challenges are amazing. They are getting me to do so much on my whips. Like, I know last night I did 500 stitches on that, and I just pulled it out last night. So it's amazing, getting lots and lots of stuff done. and they're all going to fall, so fingers crossed. If you hear something go crash, then it's probably that. I'll try and balance it a bit better. Alright, let's see how we go. Okay, so they're all my new starts and whips. Now, so these are my whip go boards. Check this out. Now, because I have 3, I'm doing my 2 whips boards first and then the new starts last. So I won't start the new starts until I've worked on the whips first. So my first whip go board, oops, they are the January calls and the February calls. They are complete. Yay! So the peacock that I completed was a February whip go call. The chorus of angels was a February whip go call. Yeah, so, and then my second board of whips for whip go. This one is what I'm working on now. That's the Pretty Florals cushion. These ones are complete. January and February was complete. The February one was a wheel to side. So when I created these whip go boards, I didn't have enough whips. I didn't have enough whips to complete 2 full boards. So the last row on this one is using the Tiny Decisions app to choose a whip, and it chose Chorus of Angels bonus. So that one got marked off. And then the new starts looks like this, because I did January's Spring Montage and Tree of Hope, and the February new starts are my Satsuma Street ornaments and my Spring Montage from Pain Free Crafts. So looking forward to that. Spring Montage looks like this. So that's the one with the Easter eggs on it. It's not springtime in Australia. It's I suppose doesn't necessarily mean Easter, does it? It's more new life, I guess. Baby chick eggs. So that is Spring Montage, and I'll be starting that sometime later this week, next week, I don't know. It'll be started in February, put it that way. I like to give my full coverages when I start them a week if I can, if not at least 4 days. Alright, so what I want to talk about now was my plans and the challenges, some of the challenges I've been working on. So my plans, obviously it's to work on the whip go calls, which is the, why have I got fancy shoe written down here? It didn't actually get called. I've written it down, but it hasn't been called, so I don't know why that's on there for whip go. Question mark that one. Yeah, so to finish the, not finish, but to spend more time stitching on that Pretty Florals cushion, then to do my 2 whip go new starts, which is the Satsuma Street ornaments and the Spring Montage. Then I've got lots of other challenges that I'm doing and a run through now, but I also continue working on the Whip Warriors road trip, which is really fun. Hope to start the Heaven and Earth sale 2024. I joined the sale. I've got the first section of the chart. I haven't started it yet. Hope to start that. And then also the Quaker Flag sale. I haven't started that either. So I'm a bit behind on that one because it should have been started on January 26th. But anyway, better late than never. So the other challenges I've been doing, which have been helping me get lots of stuff done, is in different groups: Down Under Divas, Semi-Sane Stitches, and Whip Warriors. So I'm just going to run through a few of them in case you're not aware of what they're like and what's involved. But I really encourage you, if you're into that sort of thing, to join these groups and participate, because you get lots of stitching done. And there's no rewards, no prizes, nothing like that. It's the reward is you getting traction on your whips and getting them done. And that's what I love. So the Down Under Divas are having a quest through space. So each month they're visiting a different planet. And the prompts are really fun. And these are the challenges that if my whip go calls don't fit in, I can pull any other whip that fits. I don't always get them done. So like January Quest Through Space, I think I got out of the 12 prompts, I maybe got 5 done. And that's only because my current whip go calls fitted the prompts. And the other projects, I sort of didn't get a chance to pull them out. Alright, so the first one on this Quest Through Space, this month we're doing the planet Mercury. So prompt 1, the days are very long on Mercury, lasting almost 59 Earth days. Stitch 2,000 stitches on your longest whip by stitches. So for that one I've chosen Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I haven't started that yet. I've started the whip. Sorry, it's a tag blowing around a fan. I've started it, but I haven't pulled it out for this. Second, the sun would appear 3 times larger from the surface of Mercury than it does on Earth. Stitch 2,000 stitches on a piece with a 3, with the number 3 on it. So I've chosen Anne Morrison. It's a sampler with the number 3 on it. Prompt 3. Despite it being the closest to the sun, Mercury is not the hottest planet in our solar system. Stitch 1,000 stitches on a piece with something cool. So I've chosen a stitching shelf because it's got the bottom row of snow themed pieces. So I've chosen that because snow is cool. Prompt 4. Mercury is the fastest planet, orbiting the sun in only 88 Earth days. Stitch 1,000 stitches on a piece with something fast. So these prompts are really broad and lots of fun. So for that one I've chosen my Arnott's Parrot because birds are fast, they fly fast. Prompt 5, Mercury is the densest planet in our solar system. Stitch 1,000 stitches on a piece with something dense. So I've chosen Spring Montage, which is on my Whipco board, because it's got the eggs in it. So I'm saying boiled eggs are dense when they're boiled. So, hang on. And this lasts all month. So if you're not a big stitcher, you don't have to get all these done. So you don't have to do the one with 2,000 stitches. There's some later with 500 stitches. Or just choose 1 or 2, and then there's no pressure to do the whole lot. It's just a fun way to touch your whips. Prompt 6. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system and the closest to the sun. It is only slightly bigger than our moon. Stitch 500 stitches on your smallest whip. So I've chosen Fancy Shoe. It's probably not my smallest, but I thought it was a whip go call. That's why I picked it. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, I'm gonna still, if I can fit it in, I'll fit it in. Prompt 7. Not only is Mercury the smallest planet, but is also shrinking. Stitch 500 pieces on a piece with something that can shrink. So for this one, I actually finished this prompt, and I chose the Pretty Florals cushion because flowers shrink when they die. So that's something that shrinks. So that's what I did my 500 stitches on that one last night for. Prompt 8. Mercury was named after the Roman god of commerce. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with money. Now this one I don't have anything for, so I need to, there's nothing obvious in any of my whips that is money. So I need to go back and probably think about things that they used to barter with in the olden days. Like they would barter pots for food or other things. So I need to go back and look at something that could be bartered and then probably fit it in. Actually my Spring Montage, because of the eggs, that's food. They used to barter food for work and stuff. So yes, I can make that one fit. Sorry, prompt 9. Mayans depicted Mercury as 4 owls and referred to it as the messenger to the underworld. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with an owl, a message, or related to the underworld. And for this one I chose When Witches Ride by Doreen Jones because that's got an owl on it. Prompt 10. Mercury has a crater named after Dr. Seuss. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece you can relate to a Dr. Seuss book. I only know a handful of Dr. Seuss books, so I went to Google, Professor Google, and came up with Scrambled Eggs Supper is a book. So again, I've chosen Spring Montage for the eggs for Scrambled Eggs Supper. Prompt 11. Due to its smallness, it is the most elusive of the planets visible to the naked eye. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with something that is elusive. And I did my chorus of angels for that one because angels are elusive. So that's the quest through space. So lots and lots of fun. And there's no pressure. There's no, the only thing you have to remember with these is you have to take a start photo and a finished photo. They have to see the actual difference in stitches. Some of them you need to put a prompt word, a handwritten word on a bit of paper on your start photo. And I think the code for that one is tiny, the word tiny. And quite often I'll forget. And then I'll put my phone down and stitch a couple of stitches and go, oh, code word. So I have to go back and delete my start photo, put the code word on the piece, take another photo and upload it. But, it's fun. I like these challenges because they're getting me doing my whips. Otherwise I'd sort of get to the stage where I don't know what to stitch on next because I have so many choices. I have 80 something whips, so it'd be like too overwhelming to pick what I want to work on, and I'd keep going past them, and there'd be certain ones that I'd go past every single time if I had the choice. But I don't want to UFO them. I don't want to give them away. I do actually want to have them done one day. So challenges like this make me work on some of those pieces and actually get some progress on them. Alright, so the next challenge that I'm doing is categories, and this is for, what group is this for? Wait a minute. Whip Warriors. So Whip Warriors has events you can do every month, and also there's the spin-off group of the road trip that's going around Australia. You can participate in everything, or just stick to the road trip, or just stick to the main group, or not do any of the events in the main group. Just stitch on your whips, as long as you have like a photo album or somewhere you can show the moderators that you're actually made progress on your whips. Then you can just happily stitch your whips and then just post a photo of, February the 1st, this is where I was, get to April the 8th, and this is my progress on this whip, sort of thing. Then that's participation. They do require 1,500 stitches a month to be considered as an active stitcher, which really, if you're in these sort of groups on Facebook, you're going to be doing those sort of stitches anyway. Like 1,500, that's only a couple of hundred stitches a week, so yeah. Alright, so categories. Each month, so this is a yearly game, but each month there's a new event. So each month they pick a letter. So for February the letter was D. So the prompts stay the same. You just have to fit something into those prompts every month. So animal and plant, I said the dogwood flowers on my pretty florals cushion. So I've done that one. And this is where the beauty of doing multiple challenges across multiple groups works, because you can double dip your stitches. So I only did 509 stitches on that piece last night, my pretty florals cushion, but I've used it in my Quest Through Space challenge, I've used it for my categories challenge, and I've used it for my road trip. I needed to do so many stitches for a shopping item, and I've probably used it for something else. So you do the one lot of stitching and you can use it in multiple groups for multiple prompts, so it's really good. The prompt 2 was near or in water. Lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, swimming pools. I couldn't think of anything starting with D in any of my whips that I could use. Third prompt is colour. So I used dark blue in the peacock piece that I finished. That one is done. Prompt 4. Related to humans and culture, professions, jobs, tasks, emotions, activities, body parts, garments, literacy, inventions, civilization, language, academics. So they're ideas related to humans and culture. So I used the dresses on the angels in Chorus of Angels, and that one is done. Prompt 5, man-made. For this one I've chosen the dish that the fruit are in Spring Montage. Yet to stitch that. Prompt 6 is travel, movement, vehicles, places. I couldn't think of anything in my whip starting with D for that. 7, seasons or celebrations. I got nothing for that. 8, favourite things, Activities, things, pets. So I wrote daisies are my favourite flowers in that Pretty Florals cushion, and I'll put a start photo for that. So whatever I stitch on that tonight will complete that prompt, because this categories doesn't have a stitch requirement. You stitch however much you want. Prompt 9, leisure, books, music, TV, movies, sports, pastimes, hobbies, games. So I've put dig in the garden to pick the flowers that are in the spring montage piece. 10, prompt 10, magical, mystical or mythical. So I've chosen angels are divine beings, and I've done the chorus of angels piece for that. 11, designer, is my chorus of angels is designed by Donna the Million Gampa. So I've completed that one. And then prompt 12, pattern title. So I'm pulling out for this one Turkish Delight by Rosa Bennett. Now the last one I'm going to go through is this also is a Down Under Divas challenge, and it's weird place names. And I think this is all Australian places. I think Down Under Divas, I think, is going to be Australian based. This I'm really not sure. I think so, but Melissa Jansen, I think, is the admin, and she lives in Tassie. So the first 2 months have been weird place names in Tasmania. So these are funny. There's so many weird place names down there. Oh my gosh, I love Tasmania, love the state, but gee, they have some doozies. Hang on. These are funny. So the first one, now these also don't have a stitch count requirement, but they do have a password you need to put on the start photos. Alright, so the first one is prompt the boomerang. And this is, you're going to learn stuff about Australia with this one too. It's really interesting. The boomerang is the name of a peak in southern Tasmania. The boomerang is a traditional wooden weapon that was used by the Aboriginal people of Australia. Stitch on a piece with a weapon. And they encourage you to be creative with your responses. So I've chosen autumn montage for this one, and I actually did it. I completed this prompt. Sorry, is because the reeds on that piece. So if you remember autumn montage, it's got the reeds somewhere. Yeah, they can be used as a weapon or a spear, or a whip or a spear. A whip, which is a weapon, or a spear. Prompt 2, Laughing Creek. Laughing Creek is located near Federation Peak. Stitch on a piece that makes you laugh. So for this one, I also chose autumn montage because this piece makes me laugh when I think of finishing it, as it is one of my many full coverage pieces that I need several lifetimes to finish. Prompt 3, High Round Mountain is located in the Bay Ranges of southern Tasmania. Stitch on a piece that has something round or high. Again, I chose autumn montage because it's got pumpkins on it, and pumpkins are round. Prompt 4, Goon Moor. It was named after a pilot, Roy Goon, who dropped food supplies for Paddy Palin and Jack Thwaites in 1958. Stitch on a piece that has a plane or food. I chose autumn montage because it's got food on it. It's got pumpkins and apples and other things. Prompt 5, Platypus Point. It's named after the platypus found there. Stitch on a piece with a platypus or other Australian animal. I chose Galahs by the Water Pump by Country Threads. Galahs are an Australian native bird. Prompt 6, Tunga's Point. Well, I'm not sure what I can say about this one. Stitch on a piece with a visible tongue. This is a hard one. So I chose Follow the Leader, which is 3 little kids laughing, standing together, and 2 of them have their mouths open laughing, haha, like that. So it's like dark. So I'm saying that is because their mouths are open. When someone's got their mouth open, you see their tongue, so therefore they have a visible tongue because their mouth's open. We'll see if I get away with that one. Prompt 7, Beggary bumps. I can't believe these place names. Beggery bumps are a very challenging section of the Western Arthur's Trail. Stitch on your most challenging piece. And for that I chose the peacock because I've had lots of challenges with that piece and starting over it. So that one I completed. Prompt 8. Humongous hole is actually a cave. Stitch on a piece with something humongous. So I chose my peacock because peacock tails, when they're out, are humongous. Well, in my eye, for a bird, they're humongous. So I completed that one. Prompt 9, the dungeon. The dungeon is the name of another cave in southern Tasmania. Stitch on a piece with something that could be found in a dungeon. So I went, okay, mice can be found in a dungeon. So I'm going to do the Mouse King Satsuma Street ornament, which is a whipco call. Last prompt, number 10, Satan's Lair. Satan's Lair is a cave in the Mountfield National Park, which is a habitat for the Tasmanian devil. Stitch on a piece with something evil. And I chose Spring Montage because it's got eggs on it, and eggs are evil as they make me sick. So that was pretty creative in that one. I'm sorry, I haven't completely got rid of the cough. Anyway, I shouldn't laugh because it makes me cough. Yeah, so they're the challenges, and I only went through all those prompts to give you an idea of how fun they are, how creative you can be with your responses. It doesn't have to be literal. If you can find an argument and make it work, do it. It's just lots of fun. And the worst thing they can say is, no, it doesn't work, it doesn't fit the prompt. But hey, you've got to stitch on it anyway, so who cares? It's a win-win. The other thing under plants I'm going to do is semi-sane stitches have a this or that every month, and this month is pink or hearts, so because it's Valentine's Day, February. So I'm going to do the Pretty Flowers cushion because it's got pink flowers on it. And they also have a game called Wordle, which is like that popular game I see people play. I used to play it for ages, where you guess a 5-letter word and then you're told whether, you know, if the letter's in the word, if it is in the wrong spot, if the letter's there at all, sort of thing, that you've got the letter in the right spot, and you work through the puzzle like that. So I'm up to my first puzzle. You got to stitch 500 pieces per guess. So I've guessed 4 times, got it wrong. I'm down to hopefully the last guess, and I've got the last 4 letters in the word right. R-A-I-L are in the right spot. They're all in the right spots. So it's only the first letter that I need. So I did a T. It came back with not in the word. So I had to stitch another 500 stitches, guess again, and then I did F for frail, make the word frail. I got a response back that F, no, that's wrong, F's not in the word. So I sat this morning, went through the alphabet, I wrote it all down, A, B, C, D, E, and I couldn't find another letter to put in front of rail. So I've tried trail, frail, something else maybe. And the only thing I can think of is I looked up braille. Now my mind went braille as in for the blind people, but it's spelled double-L-E, but there's also a braille, B-R-A-I-L, which is a type of sailing ship. So I went, well, okay, it's got to be that one because no other letter fits. So I'm now going to stitch 500 stitches tonight, have my guess at that. Hopefully it's the final one and I solve the first puzzle, and then they'll issue you another puzzle and you start again. So you just pick randomly a 5-letter word to start with, stitch your 500 pieces, copy the link to your post in a thread, and they'll tell you what you've got right, what you got wrong, anyway, things like that. So that's lots of fun as well. They're all my plans. Wow, 54 minutes. If you're still here, thank you. Right, now, next thing. Last video I had my Fabric of the Month Club fabric from Paddock Lane Designs for January called Cockatiel. This was it. It's like a yellow and a grey. Okay, and I had no idea what to put on it. Lots of people suggested different things, and someone, and I'm so sorry, I meant to look up your name and write it down, totally forgot. Someone suggested some angels or something or other from what's the name of this designer? It's gone blank. Lavender and Lace. Yeah, Lavender and Lace. So I went, well, I don't, yeah, lavender lace. So I don't have any of them, but I do have this spring Celtic lady. I've got them all. I've got the summer, spring, winter, autumn, and the Christmas one. So I thought, well, she has green. Not a great photo, I'm sorry. Move my head out of the way. So she's got a bit of green and purple and a bit of yellow. So I thought, well, maybe she might work on this fabric. I don't know. So it's the only thing I can think of I've got in my stash that will work. If you think she will work on there, let me know. So at the moment, that is what I have paired with that fabric. February's fabric is not here yet. I've paid the invoice. It hasn't been shipped yet, so Lisa's still probably madly dying away. But excited to get that fabric every month, and that's the only thing that I am buying, if I can this year, is my fabric of the month club. Right. So then, what I also have is, I need another sip of coffee. Hang on. Oh, it's going cold. Alright, I have a little present here. In December, Laura from I Stitch Birds said, hey, let's do that new starts thing again. So, yeah, sure, no worries. Then I thought, well, I'll do 10 new starts. And then I kept going through my stash and going, no, I want to start this and I want to start that. So then it got to like 25 new starts in December, up to Christmas Day, beyond Christmas Day. I don't know, I had lots picked out. And I got to all but the last one. And I didn't do the last one. And I really don't know why. I probably fell into a funk, which I do every so often, and then went, I can't be bothered. It's all too hard. Anyway, so I've been meaning to open this because I have forgotten what's in there. So I'm going to open it. I'm sorry this is going to be loud. But I'm going to open this because several people have asked me what was in the last one. Are you ever going to open it? Like, yes, okay, I'm going to open it. Here we go. And in one of my cute teeny weeny fabric bags, project bags. Sorry about the zipper, but anyway. It's a lavender and lace. Oh, look at that. It is summer. Summer Celtic lady. Oh, cool. I love these and I want to start these. And the fabric that I have chosen, it's a no-name green Ada. Hand-dyed Ada. 18. Is this 18? No, what is it? I think it's 18 count. So hopefully it fits. But it's this lovely green that's washing it out. It's actually quite a brighter green. I don't know. Where's the light? Hang on a minute. If I fold it up, it might show it a bit better. It's a really bright. There you go. It's probably a bit better. It's a really bright green. Not bright in your face green, but it's a brightish green. So I thought she would look pretty on that. Summer by Lavender and Lace, Celtic lady. Cool. So now I have 2 that I can start. And I'm into starting all the things, you know. And I thought also with my challenge prompts, if there's something that I have that I haven't started and I have it matched up with fabric, what's stopping me from starting it? Nothing. Okay, is that all that I have? That's all I have. Cool. Now, that's not the complete video. What I'm going to do now is the shop talk section. So if you're not interested in what I have new in my Etsy store or my simplyneurel.com store, I'm also going to run through all the project bags. You can probably see them there. Project bags I currently have in stock at this moment. If you're not interested in that, you can just come here for the stitching. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that notify bell so you know when my next video comes out. Like I said last video, I'm going to try and come back more frequently. I failed miserably because it's been 2 weeks. I was going to try and come back weekly, but I got into a funk, and I let myself get into the trap of, I don't have many subscribers, I can't be as good as other people, why won't people watch my videos, what's wrong with me, am I boring, is what I'm stitching what people aren't interested in, they don't want to see what I'm stitching, why don't people watch me, all that sort of thing got into my own head. And I went, well, last night I went, no, forget it, I wasn't going to do any more. And then I woke up this morning and went, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this Flosstube for me, so that ultimately for me, sorry, that came out wrong. I'm doing it so other people can enjoy what I stitch, but the reason I started it was for me to have a visual representation of my journey as I stitch, the things I stitch on, as my tastes change, the different things that I start, the things that I finish, how much stitching I get done, just so that I have something to show of all these years of cross stitching. So that is why I sort of started it. And I have to keep telling myself, the amount of people who subscribe, the amount of people who watch is secondary to the reason I want this record of why I stitch, because I can't frame things with a professional framer because it's so expensive. So the stuff that I finish, eventually, if I get around to framing them myself, they'll go on the wall, and I have limited space. So I'm not going to have like walls of my stitching, so I can go and wander through and go, I remember stitching that, I remember doing that. So this is my only record of what I have stitched, because once they're done, they go into a bag and they go in the cupboard. So unless I pull out that bag and go through every single thing that I have completed, I'm not going to necessarily remember what I stitched. So this is a way of me having a record of what I'm stitching. So anyway, that's my little ramble. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in my shop talk, stick around. It's ahead, it's coming up ahead. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What's new? Alright, so let's get on to some shop stuff. I'm not going to go through everything I've got in the shop, but I do have some new stock come in. Now, I have an Etsy shop, simplynorelle.etsy.com. I also have my own website, simplynorelle.com. Some things I cannot put on Etsy for various reasons, because the designers of the charts do not allow you to sell them on Etsy, and other things I have are a completed item which you can't sell on Etsy. Etsy's for handmade. So that's why I have my Simply Norelle store. Plus also, I'm trying to build up my stock on my Simply Norelle store and get more people going across there, because the Etsy fees are a little bit ridiculous. Most of my customers, 99% of my customers, shop on Etsy. So it's going to be a slow process to update, and get people and get traffic to my Simply Norelle store. So I'm starting to move more things across there, and have things listed in two places, which can be dangerous at times, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, so I want to build up the traffic to my Simply Norelle store, because Etsy fees are a little bit of a weight around the neck. Anyway, I had a delivery from Country Threads, which is an Australian designer, so I wanted to show you a few of the things that I have in stock. These are all new in, yes. Alright, the first one is Bookmarks 2, Country Threads. 4 beautiful bookmarks in here. Now these are only charts, not kits, but they are 4 gorgeous bookmarks. Country Threads. And then I got this one in, and it's a parrot, and it's biscuits. This is one I mentioned a few times. I'm currently stitching this, so I thought, well, as I'm stitching it, if people like it, they can just jump on my store and purchase it. Then Galahs by the Water Pump, another one that I am stitching, absolutely gorgeous. Love this one. I love Galahs. So that is also in my simplynorelle.com store. These are available now. Pretty sure they're on there. And then, what's this? Wash Tub Chicks. So if you are in my Project Bag of the Month club, in the 12 by 12 size project bag club, you would have got this pattern in January. So this was the pattern that was included in the club bag. So cute, look at that. Because the bag, if you haven't got it yet, you haven't paid your invoice yet, pay your invoice because you're going to get that invoice and a chicken themed bag. If you don't pay your invoice, you're out of the club, unfortunately. So, you know, there you go. Okay, now what else is new? So after this, I'm going to go through all the bags. I think I said that already, didn't I? Right, so there may be some crinkling. Okay, I also have, which I don't know if I've put up on my store yet, Dimensions Forest House. Really, really cute. Look at that. That is gorgeous. I love that. And this is a kit. So I have 2 of these. Hopefully they're on my store. I don't think they are yet. Last time I showed a little birdie in a teacup. So I'm going to try and show this without taking it out. I now have the little watering can, flowers in a watering can with the material covered hoop. These are on my store as well. These are a kit. So I have 2 of these in stock. Love these. These are great if you want to try and introduce someone to stitching, because they are quite easy. I know they have back stitching, but if you're going to stitch, you need to learn you have to do back stitching. But these are quite nice little patterns. They're not very big. Like the hoop is only like a 6-inch hoop, so they're not massive. They're great beginners kits. I mean, I want these for my wall because I've got a round squirrel, so I wanted other round things to go along with my squirrel to make a little cluster. So these are perfect for that. So they are in my store. Also have, oh no, oh jeez. Okay, so they're all falling out. But anyway, I got some DMC needles in as well. So these are 28 cross stitch needles by DMC. So I've got like 12 packets of those. They are on my simplynorelle.com store. For the quilters as well, so I want to try and get a collection of quilting supplies, sewing supplies, stitching, cross stitch supplies and stuff. I got some large wonder clips. Now these also are great for if you have excess fabric that you're stitching around your Q-snap. I use the little ones that I have to hold my fabric. But let me just open a packet and show you how big these are. So these are great for holding, sorry about the crinkle, for holding your fabric, excess fabric around your Q-snap. Now I should have actually had one of these opened. So the ones I have are like half this size, but these are quite big. They're really firm and they will hold. So they'll hold your excess fabric. So I roll mine up and then I clamp it to keep it there with one of these. So I'm not very good at showing this stuff. So I've got those as well, a couple of packets of those. Oops. Also have on there, if they're not on there I need to add them, but if you're a sewer, tailor's chalk, little container, I think it's got a lid, of 4 pieces of tailor's chalk. They're really handy as well. You could use those for gridding, I think, maybe, I'm not really sure. And then, sorry, last crinkle. Should have got these out. I'm so sorry, that is really noisy. Okay, I have these DMC bobbins. There's a ring and 28 plastic bobbins. I got a few packets of those as well. So they're in most, if they're not in my store, they will be by the end of today. So go check it out. So that you'll find all that on my Simply Narelle store. Now, and like I said, if it's not in there, not on there yet, it will be. Let's put all this away. And then I've also got some new DMC in. So I'm slowly building up the DMC. Now, the last thing I want to go through is my project bags that I currently have in stock on Etsy, and some are also on my Simply Narelle store. If there's anything, two further notes. If there's anything that you want from any of the designers, or anything that you think that you want and it's not on my store, then please send me a message and I'll see if I can get it in for you. I do try to offer really reasonable prices. Most of the stuff I've got on my store, I don't list at the recommended retail. I try to list it a little bit lower. And yeah, so the other thing that I finally got that I've been after for years, which are now gone out of stock again at the supplier, so I'm going to keep checking every day to see if they're back in stock and order some, is the DMC color chart, the one with the actual threads in it. Look at that. I love this. I have drooled over this for days. This will be so handy in my designing of charts. Unbelievable. So I'm going to open it all up. Look at that. It's just beautiful. So my supplier finally had a couple, or at least one in stock. I ordered one and got it, and then jumped on the next day when I went, oh, that's so good, I gotta get some of them in store, and they're out of stock again. So I will keep checking. If you want one of these, let me know, and I will keep checking every day to see if I can get you one. They are on my Simply Narelle store, and I've forgotten the price offhand. Hang on, there's a message I need to get rid of. Okay, so the other thing is back orders. I can't physically hold a lot of stock here, so things that I can get, if they're back ordered, then doesn't mean I have them on order, means I can get them. So just a little thing to note there. Alright, so these bags are currently on my Etsy store, I believe, and some on my Simply Narelle store. So I have some Christmas ones left. Beautiful gingerbread houses. Now some of these have different sizes available, and I'll have a separate listing the sizes. So there's a red, can you see that? Red polka dot material inside. Like I said, at the time of filming, these bags are available, but I could very well, sell some of these before this video goes up. Another beautiful Christmas bag. Christmas trees and poinsettias, very pretty. Snowflakes. Oops, where's the zipper? Alright, inside we have that same red and gold coloured polka dot material. Christmas trees on red. This one's got a tassel on it. I went through a stage of making tassels for bags, and then went, that's very time consuming, let's not do that anymore. I might sometimes, occasionally, And then that same red polka dot material inside. I love Christmas. I'll stitch Christmas all year round. That's why I'm showing the Christmas bags. I'm sure there's other people out there who stitch Christmas all year round. Snow globes with the cutest little penguins in snowman in them. It's also cute. And let me guess, probably the same material inside. Yes, and the same polka dot material inside. So my standard bags are 12 across, 9.5 deep. That's my standard size bag. So centimeters, I don't know. I know it's 30 centimeters by, I don't know. I'm sorry, where's a ruler? Oh. They are 30 centimeters across by roughly 24 and a half deep. Right, so here's an Australian Flora one. Wattle, Banksia, beautiful Australian native flowers, Waratah. And this actually has a gold around the edge of the designs. Can you see there's a gold, now it shows it there, a gold edge around the designs. And then inside this beautiful matching gold motley material. For the foodies out there, we have apples. This is good if you're doing Alice in, no, which one had the apples? Snow White. Or you're just doing a food piece. We've got apples. And then inside we've just got a plain red. Then we've got apples and apple cores. So some of these are a different shape, different size, not all standard. And then we have a red, like a grunge, red grunge fabric inside. Butterflies. There's another one of the same, this was a panel, and there's another one in the shop. I didn't show it. It's the same material, but it's a different part of the band. So I don't think it's got the word on it. It's probably just got more butterflies on it. This is really pretty if you're a butterfly person. And then on the inside we have a dark green grunge. Christmas. Red snowmen. Well then, snowmen not red, but red with snowmen, I should say. Pretty. And then inside we have a dark green. Very Christmassy. Apologise for the zippers, I didn't even think to say there'd be lots of zippers. Alright, Christmas red trucks with Christmas trees on the back and presents. And now that hair's making me itchy. We have like a little red berry print on the inside. Birdhouses. I'm a sucker for birdhouses, so I saw this fabric and went, yes, gotta have it. I don't have a bag myself in this though. So we have birdhouses, and a lot of these, if I have multiples of them, which I do in store, the fabric might not be exactly the same as the picture on the listing or that I'm showing here, because obviously the design of the fabric is a different size to my bags, so it'll be a different part of the fabric sometimes that is made into the bag. So there's an orangey grunge on the inside, and it's just, you know, not every fabric is the same in the repeat of the pattern. And by the beach, so we have lots of sand and beach huts and chairs and seagulls and sandcastles, and really pretty. And then we have like a beigey sandy coloured fabric on the inside. So all my bags are fully lined. In the mountains, now I have on here several different sizes of this bag, so I've just put on here a note so I know what it is. So we have like a valley with trees and countryside and a little bit of a stream in the middle there. Very nice and relaxing. Inside we have a tanny coloured, beigey coloured fabric. And this most stunning floral. Love this. Check this out. Oh, this is gorgeous. Love, love this floral. And then we have beautiful print in the same sort of colours on the inside. Then I have some flamingos. Very pretty. And on the inside of flamingos, I have some pink, matching pink. Then I have what I call Bohemian. Wait, another message I need to get rid of. Okay. So then I have what I'm calling the Bohemian print. Really, really pretty. This one too has a gold edging to the design. I don't know if you can see that gold on the print. Very pretty. I think this is the last one of this one left. And a beautiful matching teal on the inside. Tealy blue on the inside. And then these really cute koalas. So if you're doing the Australian road trip, I'm trying to wink. I can't wink. These would be really cool for your whips for the Australian road trip. Cute koalas. And on the inside, we have beautiful pastel check. One more. Beautiful butterflies. Gorgeous, gorgeous butterflies. So pretty. And then on the inside of this one, we have a beautiful purple pattern. I'm trying to get the light so you can see it. There we go. It's like a purple little polka dot print on the inside. So there's all the bags that I have in my shop at the moment. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I wanted to cover. Thank you so much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll be back next week with another video of my stitching. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic week, or whenever I see you next. Look after yourself, stay safe, and happy stitching. Bye bye.